So are you just drowning in a sea of compliance spreadsheets and a never-ending flood of alerts from all your different tools? Today, we're going to take a look at a much better way to handle things with the Cloudshot Compliance Center and see how it really aims to turn all that chaos into a clear, unified security workflow.
For way too many teams out there, compliance is just about checking off boxes. It's a system that'll tell you, yep, you're PCI compliant, but it completely misses the fact that your most critical customer data is just sitting there in an unsecured S3 bucket. It sees all the little trees, but it totally misses the massive burning forest. So how do you actually fix that?
And that right there is the core promise. When you bring everything into one place, you can finally start to see the connections. You see the cause and effect between your compliance posture and the actual real-world risks your business is facing. It's all about shifting from that scattered, fragmented view to one that's laser-focused.
So how does it all work? Well, think of this top part of the dashboard as kind of like a 24/7 security guard for your entire cloud. Cloudshot is constantly scanning your environment, measuring it against all the most important compliance frameworks, so you always have a live pulse on your posture. No guesswork. And we're talking broad coverage here, hitting the big six that keep security teams up at night: CIS, SOC 2, PCI, NIST, ISO 27001, and HIPAA. Now what's really cool is that you get a separate, live score for each and every one. This lets you see, instantly, where you're absolutely crushing it and where you might need to focus your efforts. No ambiguity at all.
All right, but look, having all this data in one spot is really just the beginning. The real magic, the part that actually makes a difference, is when you transform that raw data into insights your team can actually use. Let's see how Cloudshot helps you do just that.
This is basically your command center for risk. This heat map gives you a real-time snapshot of where your biggest fires are burning. And look, those red blocks, they aren't just data points on some chart. They are ticking time bombs that need your immediate attention. You literally can't ignore them.
And you can think of this trend graph as your compliance report card. It lets you track your progress over time, so you can celebrate the wins as you see that score climb. But just as important, you can also quickly spot any regressions if that line suddenly starts to dip. It turns compliance into a living, breathing metric for your whole organization. Let's make that really concrete. A vulnerability on a server in your live production environment, that's a 5-alarm fire. That same vulnerability on some temporary server in a sandbox dev environment, yeah, it's still an issue, but it's not the thing that's going to keep you up at night. The business risk score gets that difference, so your teams are always aimed at the targets that matter the most.
And the payoff for that intense focus? You can see it right here in black and white. The platform tracks your team's mean time to remediate, showing you exactly how quickly they're putting out those fires. For the critical stuff, you're measuring your response time in hours, not days or weeks.
And on the flip side, for the lower severity findings, you can see how the team is just steadily chipping away at that backlog. Put it together, and these metrics give you a complete data-driven picture of your security team's performance from emergency response to everyday diligence.
So, we've got a unified view, and we've got real business context. The final piece of this puzzle is turning all that powerful insight into concrete action. And you do that with a super streamlined workflow.
And this is really where the rubber meets the road. When you find a problem, you get everything you need to fix it, right then and there. You get the context, the business impact, the affected resources, and even guided, step-by-step remediation help. From there, you just create a ticket, assign it, and track it to completion. It's a straight line from insight to action.
Okay, but let's be real for a second. In the real world, not every single finding is going to be fixed. Sometimes, some risks are known and they're consciously accepted by the business. So, how do you handle those without completely skewing your data?
The Accept Risk feature lets you basically tell the platform, hey, we know about this risk, we've talked about it, and we've decided to live with it for now. This is a huge deal because it keeps your data clean. It ensures your compliance scores reflect the active risks you're actually trying to fix, not the noise you've already decided to accept. Now, to help your teams focus even more, this view gives them a prioritized hit list of your absolute riskiest assets. It combines all those factors we talked about, the environment, the severity, the exposure, to show you exactly which cloud resources are causing the most risk. It's like a GPS for your security efforts, telling you exactly where to go first.
And this is your team's to-do list, intelligently ranked by what's most likely to become a major headache down the road. The Priority Remediation Queue tells your engineers exactly what to fix first, second, and third.
so they can spend way less time guessing and a lot more time actually making your system safer.
So you see, this is the fundamental shift. With a workflow like this, compliance stops being that static, periodic report you just generate for auditors once a year. It becomes what it always should have been, a continuous, risk-driven, and genuinely action-oriented part of your daily security operations.
And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. When you take a hard look at your own compliance and security processes, are they built for reporting, or are they truly built to drive action where it matters most?